My name is Sam Turek. When I am working with you here next year when you're in 8th grade, you can call me Mr. Sam. I am the head of education for the Bricolage Production Company. There's our logo, and there's the word Bricolage. Bricolage, we call the company that because it's a French word that means when you make art out of whatever you can get your hands on. And if you look at this table behind me, you're going to see that a lot of this stuff is just stuff that we found, stuff that we got our hands on. We're going to turn all of this into the art that you're going to see with us today. That's how we do it at Bricolage. We bricolage things. So the show you're about to see is going to be 5 original radio things. Does anybody here ever listen to the radio? Raise your hand if you ever listen to the radio. I see 4, 5, no, okay, all right, 10% maybe. Anybody who's ever listened to the radio, tell me what makes radio different from like YouTube, TikTok, television. Right here, what makes it different? Live. Right? Coming in live. Well, what's the main difference? Go ahead, tell me right now. Oh, that's a really good point. I mean, there are kinds of radio where you can pick what you want to listen to, but you're right, it comes in sort of over the airwaves live. But there's one thing I'm still looking for. You can't see it. Thank you. All of these things are true, but the main thing that I wanted to talk about is how you can't see it. Radio is sound only, right? No pictures on the radio. Radio was the very first form of mass communication that they perfected, that existed, where you could be in your house, and you could turn a knob on a box, and you could have content coming into your house from the whole rest of the world, because it was before there was television, and it was before there was YouTube, and it was before there was internet, and it was before there were mobile phones. Basically, it was the very first technology that they had where you could get information coming into your house right away just by turning a knob. And they would have everything coming in over the radio. They would have news, and they would have sports, and they would have music all the time, and they would have shows just like the shows that your parents watch on TV now. Like they would have cop shows like Law and Order's Cop Show now. They would have comedies like, oh, The Big Bang Theory is a comedy now. They would have horror shows, like spooky shows, like Stranger Things, where they were really, really scary. And so this program that we do, that we're going to do with you next year, we come back and we work with the 8th grade in May every year, is a program where we work with all the 8th grade students to create radio plays. What's great about a radio play is that you can go anywhere and do anything because you're telling the story entirely with sound. You don't have to worry about like actors being in costumes. You don't have to worry about like if you want to set your story in outer space. You don't have to build a spaceship. You can just say, here we are in outer space, and the people listening are like, okay, I am picturing something happening in outer space. One of the things that we will often tell people when they come to listen to these radio plays, like you're about to do, is you might want to close your eyes and just listen to the story unfold. Just like people did 100 years ago during what we call the golden age of radio, when families would literally gather together in their living rooms and turn on the radio and just sit together and listen to the stories that were coming into their houses over the radio. We worked with the 8th grade for several days writing their scripts, and I want to shout out our 2 playwrights that worked with us. We had professional playwrights come to Washington Junior High and work with these students to make their plays as good as they could be. Brandon Russai and Sage Smith. You guys give a big round of applause for those. Other playwrights that we know are going to come back next year and work with you all to write the scripts that we're going to write. I also want to, while I'm here, give a big shout out to the entire 8th grade faculty, Nicholas Hughes, O'Brien, Olson, and more. I want to thank the 7th grade faculty for picking up the pieces when we needed help, because it's a big heavy lift to get the entire 8th grade working on something, so I really appreciate you and wanted to say thank you for that. I want to thank Superintendent Lammy, Mr. Petties. He helped us out when our principal, Mr. Magnotta, who I really want to give a big shout out to for welcoming us back every year, needed a little bit of extra help when we were first coming in here. And now I want to introduce our teaching artists who have been working to direct these radio plays. Our sound engineer, we bring a big team down here. Our sound engineer, Simon. Go ahead. I really want to thank you guys. Are going to be so dazzled by this. Our music director, his name is Jacob Fleekus. You're going to watch him playing all manner of music over there. He basically composed all of this music in a couple of days to be the underscoring of these scripts. Keep thinking about it when we come back next year and we're working with you all. How can music work in our radio plays? It's a very important part of the radio plays because everything is happening in your ears. Please give a big round of applause to Jim. All right, so without further ado, we're going to start our first radio play. Remember, this story is being told entirely with sound, voices, and what we call Foley sound effects. Keep a good eye on those sound effects because after the show is over, we're going to be running a Foley sound effects workshop with you, and you're going to have an opportunity to try out these sound effects with your own hands when we're done. If you see anything interesting that you want to try, keep it in mind for then. All right, here we go. This first radio play is called The Emancipation. Would you please open the door for them so they know to come out? Here come Ryder Nemeth, Leighton Heron, Quinn Pierce, Sam Campbell, Amelia Walters, Ian Prater, Aiden Caldwell, Danico Welsh, Evan Cottrell, Isaac Mahan, Ronald Paccaroni, Eric Price, Isaiah Andrews, Precious Teams, Jacob Crease, Tyreek Poole, Brian Tarr, and Gavin Jackson. This is a story of formerly enslaved Americans' quest for justice. It's called The Emancipation. Give them a big round of applause.